Hey, it's your girl Barbie J. Welcome to my channel. Hey there, everybody. It's your girl Barbie J here with a recap and review of Tyler Perry's comedy drama Zatima, Season 3, Episode 2, Brother's Keeper. And this episode already starting off with a bang. But before we get started, if you're new here or you're returning and haven't had a chance to subscribe to this channel as of yet, please take a moment right now and hit that subscribe button, then hit the notification bell and select all, and it'll let you know every time I upload any new content to this channel. Then I ask that you smash that like button, which is the thumbs up button, write a comment, and share, because sharing is caring. Now, like I said, this episode started off with a bang when we have Jeremiah done knocked Fatima out by throwing her up against the car trying to get money. And he's like, oh my God, oh my God. He said, I told you I needed the money. And he's like looking in her bag, digging in her bag. Where's the money? Where's the money? Then he's like, oh my God, what did I do? Oh my God. Tima, you okay? I'm sorry, Tima. You know I got a problem. And she's knocked out on the ground. Meanwhile, Angela's on the phone walking down in the garage talking to probably Sean or whatever about is he coming over her house or not, or all this stuff, making plans with him. And back over to Jeremiah, who's like, there ain't no money in here, so he gonna go in her pocketbook and go in her wallet and take the money, talk about he gonna take what money she got to my, I got a problem, I'll pay you back, I'll pay you back. And he putting in his pocket, he put his hat back on like he gonna leave. And then all of a sudden, here's Angela coming up in there, and she sees it and she's like, oh snap. And she hang up and she run over there. What did you do, Fatima? What you do to her? And Jeremiah is acting like he don't know. I ain't do nothing. I ain't do nothing. And she's like, I'm gonna call the police. He's like, I ain't do nothing. She said, you trying to rob her? You was robbing her? So she get on there calling 911, and he trying to run. She said, you think I don't know who you are, Jeremiah? I know who you are. And he takes off. And Angela calls the ambulance, and she asks for the police as well. So now when the episode comes back on, we have Fatima sitting in the back of an ambulance, and Angela's there standing there with her. And Fatima said, the paramedic said, me and the baby are okay. And da-da. And Angela's like, a baby? Girl, you pregnant? And Fatima's like, oh, like I forgot to tell her. And she tells her she's in her first trimester and all this stuff. And Angela wants her to go get checked, go to the hospital. She might have internal bleeding. They doing all this talking. We ain't see one damn paramedic. Where the paramedics, y'all? At least they could have had a paramedic just show up and say, you're fine, you and the baby are doing well, or something like that. They could have had it done, just to make it look legit, because they do all of this talking, and Fatima is saying, do not call Zach, because, Angela wants to call Zach, especially when she's sitting there, when Fatima lying to her saying that she just fainted, when she's like, girl, you gonna lie up in my face? I saw Jeremiah. I know he did it. She's like, tell the truth. Tell me the truth. She said, yeah, he did it. And she's like, what happened? And she's telling her a little bit of what happened. And she's like, we need to have Zach. No, she's like, no, I'm trying. She said, why are you trying to protect Jeremiah? She said, I'm not. I'm trying to protect Zach, because Zach gonna kill him. And I don't want Zach to go back to jail. And she was dead all right about that, because Zach is going to kill him, especially when he finds out this stuff. But she's like, you got a mark on your head, because she thought she could just hide it. But she's like, your clothes are messed up. You got that bruise on your head. She's like, what? She's looking. She sees that. So Fatima decides she's going to call Zach, find out what time Zach coming home. I guess she's going to rush home and try to cover up the bruise and everything before he gets there. So Angela's pissed. Angela wants to follow her, just to make sure she's able to drive and can get home safely. Still no paramedics showing up, though. I still don't get it. But anyway, Fatima's like, no, because you're going to be looking at me funny, and then Zach's going to know something's up. So she's like, okay, fine. So Fatima left, and Angela was pissed. But at least Angela was being a good friend and making sure. I think I got to give her kudos for that. So now we have Zach and Preston in Zach's office. And Bryce comes in. And of course, Bryce said his father said he couldn't get it, because Zach is like, So what's up? What's up? Where's the money? And he's like, his father can't do it. And he keeps saying he's sorry. And Zach is like, you keep saying you're sorry. Like, that's changing something. You said it's sorry. He's like, maybe you say it 10 more times, a bunch of money will fall from the sky. You keep saying you're sorry. What does that mean? And he's like, I'll give you what I got. All I got. He wanted to give him his credit cards. He was like, you want me to pay for my mother's funeral on your credit cards? He said, that's all I got. He's like, okay, give him the cards. Give me the cards. He's like, he said, give it to me. He's like, he trying to give him the card. He said, give me the whole wallet. He took the wallet. Zach is pissed. Zach is pissed. He said, I'm in a bind. I kept telling you don't do it, and you did it anyway. And Zach just got frustrated and left out of the office. Meanwhile, Preston and Bryce are standing there, and Preston asked what happened, what's going on, and he wanted to look at the information about their property, the real estate property. He asked Bryce to tell him everything that happened. And he said, how much you in the hole? He said, $3 million. Bryce really effed up. And he trying to put it on Gary. And Preston's like, so you did this after he told you no? And he said, yeah. He said, but it's a 50-50 partnership. And he's like, yeah, but he told you no? And he told him about Gary. And then Gary pulled out and all this stuff. And he's like, no wonder he's mad. So Preston said I could pay for his mother's funeral, but that's about all I could do. Sorry, I couldn't do more. He said, you could do that? He was like, oh, that'd be great. That's great. He said, well, I figure I'll tell him once he calmed down. I said, you right about that, because Zach is pissed. So now we in the hood, and we got Connie, Nate, and Tony playing cards, and Belinda walks up in there, all cute and stuff, up in the hood, right? Trying to be cute. And they like, what you doing here? And she's like, well, I asked somebody to bring me lunch, and they was like, we playing cards. I can't do it. She said, how long y'all been playing cards? So obviously Belinda and Connie kind of know each other or know of each other, but they don't know each other like that. So anyway, and she's like, I know y'all not playing for money. This is Belinda, so I'll deal me in the next hand. Something like that. So they were talking about Fatima and how you can't get close to Zach. And, they told, the guys told the story about what happened with Belinda and Fatima, saying she almost caught a bullet and stuff. And Belinda wasn't trying to tell it. So then the next thing, they was like, look, nobody getting next to Zach. He said Connie used to have him wrapped around his finger, and she don't have him no more. So she said all he's doing is checking for Fatima, and she's right about that. And Belinda's like, I don't know about that. I said, see, that's why she get herself in trouble. So next thing they see Jeremiah walking by and asking what's going on. And he's like, I ain't do nothing. I ain't do nothing. So he already sounded guilty. He said, you lied to me, Connie. You told me she had the money. She said, I did not get your story right. I told you that they was going to, her and Zach were going to take care of it or something like that. She said, I told you need to go talk to them. I ain't tell you had the money. Well, I ain't do nothing. They was like, yo, Tony was like, what you mean you ain't do nothing? What you do? And they all turning around. Connie's like, what you do? I don't know. I ain't do nothing. And come to find out, they like, I think he did something, so now they like, we got to do something. Belinda's like, well, we going to have to call. It's like, what you talking about you calling? Don't call nobody, And first of all, Nate had to tell her, first of all, Fatima don't even like you, so you ain't coming with us. They want to go and see what's going on, and they're telling her not to go. And she's like, you going to leave me in the hood by myself? He said, you drove here. Drive your ass back home. I'll meet you there. But she want to be involved and go there and act like she care so much about Zach, because she's hearing all the stuff that Zach been through and how his mother been on drugs all her life. And she's like, yo, I didn't know Zach went through that. That's when she started trying to act like she down, she trying to get with Zach and all, it was all of that. Anyway, Tony and Connie kept telling Nathan, come on, we ain't got time for this. And Nathan too busy arguing with Belinda, and she's like, I'm gonna be bringing my other man over and all this stuff. He said, what other man? Let me find out. I'm the only one, and all this stuff. And next thing they leave, and Belinda tiptoeing behind him, talking about she going with them. I was like, girl, mind your business. Stop trying to be all up in Zach's life. So now we see Angela coming home, and Bryce is standing in front of her house. He's leaning on his car, whatever. And he wants to talk, and she's like, about what? She said, it has to be quick. I got company coming over. He's like, you got company? And she's like, yeah. He said, well, can we just talk for a minute? She's like, fine, come in. So she's walking, and he's walking behind her. And I said, damn, he looked like a serial killer. Am I wrong? He looked like he could be like somebody who bash her head up against the wall before she could get to her door. And I don't know. The way Bryce is looking right now, he looked like he could be a loose cannon and just lose it on somebody. I'm sorry, but that's what I'm seeing. Y'all let me know what y'all think about it. But then he gets into her house and he acting like he gonna ask her for some money. She's like, what? I know you not. She's like, Miss Angela could put together some coins. He said, really? In the millions? She's like, damn, that's what it is? No, I can't help you. He's like, I gotta do something. She said, you right, you do. Like, this ain't my problem, it's yours. So she's telling him he gotta go. And he's like, but why? I need you. And you hear knocking at the door. And it's Sean. So she opens the door and he's like, this dude, this is it. You gonna turn me away? And when I need you the most, it's like, yes, I am. You gotta go. Bye. So Bryce leaves and Sean is like, hold up. Cause she's like ready to take him to the bedroom. And she's like, hold up. What's going on? Who's this guy to you? Nothing. Nobody. He said he gotta be somebody. He's here awful lot. And he's like, he's not. And then she started, don't we have good times together? And don't we have this? And he's talking about, Sean is talking about his feelings and how he feels and how she treats him like he's a piece of meat. And that's basically what he is to her. And she's like, don't we have fun together and all this stuff? I didn't bring your pretty ass here so we could just talk. And, she's like, come on. So they finally leave to go up to the bedroom. He said, your phone is ringing. Oh, it's just Belinda. I'll talk to her later. Why Belinda calling? See, Belinda all up in it. But see, she should have answered it because then she could have told Belinda, Fatima doesn't want Zach to know. But she didn't answer it because, Angela's all about herself as well as Belinda. So now the next thing we see, Angela's in her nightgown and she's calling back Belinda. I was like, what did they do? A super quickie or something like that? I mean, how far does Zach live from the hood that they still driving there? Whereas Angela done had sex with somebody and now she's up here calling back Belinda. And Belinda's acting like did you hear what happened to Fatima? She said, I know you know. She said, I don't know nothing. She's like, what do you know? And then she had Belinda tell her, and Belinda said, I'm going to find out. And so Belinda tell him what Jeremiah said, that Fatima fell and he didn't do it. So they up there going to talk to Zach now. And she's like, what? Oh, shit. And she's like, I'll call you back. She hangs up and she tells Belinda to stay out of it. Belinda's like, yeah, okay, whatever. And so she calls Fatima. That's Angela calls Fatima and let Fatima know what's going down. So anyway, Fatima tries to call Tony, but Tony doesn't answer. And then she calls Zach, and Zach says he's pulling up in the driveway now. And she's like, okay. Then she calls Angela back, and Angela's like already dressed in the car. I said, how'd she jump out of her nightgown and everything in the car in like 2 minutes? I don't see Angela moving that fast. They like cutting this thing up real quick. Meanwhile, she done got home, had sex, and got dressed and in the car to Fatima's house. And Tony, Connie, and Nathan ain't made it there yet. I'm just saying. So the episode ends with Fatima and Angela still on the phone. And then Fatima goes to the front door to open it to see where Zach is. And she's like, oh, and she's like, what? What's wrong? What's wrong? And she was like, oh, just hurry up here, hurry up here. And Fatima goes out there and you see Zach turn his head and he's smiling at her. So we don't know what's going on, but that's the way it ended. So y'all let me know what y'all thought about this episode down in the comment section. I thought this episode was pretty good as well. And hopefully next week will be as good. It's moving quickly. Everything's going real smooth. But I'm still waiting for more excitement and we'll see what happens. At least they're not fighting with each other. And that's the best part right now. So I will see you all in the next video. Please do not forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. It's your girl, Barbie J, saying peace.